It's not about picking up the foot. It's about preparing the horse through his whole body to have that foot, to allow you to pick the foot up.
Hey there, friend. You're listening to the Ranch Horse Resource Podcast. I'm Rhonda Van Norman, and today I have my special friend and husband, Ty Van Norman, along with me. Ty is a lifelong cowboy, rancher, and a really good horseman. So, if you're like me and you enjoy the ongoing quest of improving your horsemanship and getting better at your roping, well then, you're in the right place, and you're sure welcome to hang around. Ty, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I would like to talk about how to pick up a horse's foot, maybe say just a weanling horse, for the first time. So before we get into that, can you give me a little background on your ranch and your horses program, what halter training looks like?
Well, I guess for the halter training, we don't usually halter break colts like within the first week or two of being born. They're usually born in the spring, and we turn them out for the summer. We don't see them till late summer or don't handle them till late summer or fall. And so they've got some size on them. They're big and stout. You're not gonna, you can pull them around if you thought you needed to, but they're still pretty big and got quite a bit of self-preservation. So they're not some little weak thing that you're just going to go manhandle, grab by underneath the throat and tail them or something like that and hold them there like they maybe would be in a stall setup or a breeding barn setup.
So in the ideal situation with your program, you probably wouldn't start trying to pick up their feet until you'd had them haltered and could pet them most everywhere, flag them around up and down the legs, and be able to lead them.
Yeah, all that's good. Normally I'm not just going to go try to pick one's foot up if I haven't spent time trying to get it haltered or getting it haltered. But so normally we'd get to the point where we were haltered and they were giving to the rope, and they were following me around. It'd be best if they were leading, but they wouldn't have to lead as long as they knew how to give on the rope, to give to that pressure. And so like when the pressure come on their head, that they'd kick their hind end loose away from me and yield to that pressure, so that while I'm there, and they're going to be used to my hand being all over the top half of their body, basically, where they're petting them, rubbing on them, all that stuff. You'll notice when your hand starts to go below halfway, the bottom half of their body, then even if it's in their armpit or along their belly, they get really more defensive about it. So they're apprehensive about you touching there. It either tickles or something. They just don't like that part.
So do you have to try to work through that before you pick up a foot?
I don't so much. I might. I'll work my way down there, but I don't spend a lot of time there. Like I'll go from the top, maybe bring my hand down there along the bottom side of their belly and get it back up before they get too bothered. I don't. I think sometimes if I get them where I can pick up their feet, then they're not so bothered about their belly. All
right, so walk me through the process. You have a weanling horse that you can get a halter on. You've petted it all over from its head to its butt. You haven't spent a lot of time on its underbelly or its legs. Let's just pretend it has a sore foot, and you're going to go ahead and try to get that foot picked up.
Yeah, I'd get a halter on it and just see if it had retained anything, or, remembered I still want it to be able to yield, so I'll pet on its back and move its hip away from me a few times just to get it to giving there. And then if my lead rope on my halter isn't long enough, I'll probably get another rope. I don't like a small rope. A fatter rope would be nicer, like a good sized lead rope that's not, they're plump and pliable kind of deal, not maybe a lash rope that's a little sharper and tighter, but you can get by with either. But the fatter one, like you would have on your lead rope, would be better. Something soft, either braided or whatever kind it is. And if it's long enough, I'll just take the end of it and kind of flick it past that front foot and back to myself between the front feet, if they'll let me do that. And that might take a couple tries. They might jump at it, or it's just something else to kind of get them used to it. And then once I get that flicked through there, I can pick up the other end. So now I have the end going to the halter and the tail end of that lead rope in my hand. I can, if it's long enough, it's looped around the foot. I can just bring that loop up and down their leg and let them wear it around there a little bit, from their elbow down to their pastern and back and forth. And then pretty soon I can start hooking it between their hoof and their pastern there and just put pressure there and get them to give to it. And it doesn't take long, and they'll start giving to it. They might want to try to get away, but they'll figure out that it's tied to your hand, and there's kind of a give and take there, a pressure and release, if you will. And if a guy gets a hold of their hoof first, like you put the palm of your hand over the base of their foot and around the toe, then you can kind of control that foot better without touching any sensitive tickly spots. And from there, I can usually slide my hand around and either pick the foot out or hold that foot. If the horse wants to hop around there, I can hold it a little while till it relaxes. Or if I have to, let it go and I still have my rope around their leg and just start over. Then I can pick the foot up. And a lot of times once they're good with me picking that foot up and holding it, then I can pet their leg and pet around their elbow and in their girth and stuff like that without them getting so antsy as they would have if I had not picked up the foot. Seems like it opens a little window or a door there. There's a little bit of trust or a little bit of, I don't know what you'd call it. Just they accept that being on three legs, and they get to where they're okay with you touching them in other spots.
So Ty, I know you're really used to working with a horse and being patient with them and waiting for them to understand what you're trying to do. But talk to the listener who maybe just isn't as familiar with the situation, and what's on that person's mind is like, I got to pick up the foot. And so they might be in a rush to just go, pick up the foot, and they're not thinking about all the little details that you just mentioned about the soft rope or the feel of letting it walk around with the rope on it.
It's not about picking up the foot. It's about preparing the horse through his whole body to have that to allow you to pick the foot up. So there's a lot more going on there. I prepare that horse to have that foot picked up clear back when I started halter breaking it. So it winds up being the same pressure release, the same approach as I did everything else. So the horse by then has confidence and trust partly in my approach. So if I can keep my approach the same as I always have been, so there's nothing wrong if you can always start over. Like if it doesn't go the way you're thinking it is or should, just start over. If the lead rope falls off the foot, start over. That's the thing. Part of the key to this, I guess, is the approach. If I'm going to be harsh with whatever's going to happen there, then their reaction's going to be harsh. So, and I'm not saying that sometimes you have to be firm on certain things. Probably not in this case. Front foot, and I guess if they were trying to strike me or something, I might do something different. But striking, if they were trying to strike at me, I wouldn't probably be trying to reach down there and pick their foot up yet. So I'd be just doing something different, getting them used to be in touch with the flag or rope a front foot and get some distance between me and them, get them to yielding from that front foot being roped or something like that, before I'm just reaching down and touching it.
Well, good point, Ty. I'm glad you don't want to put yourself in a position to get struck. Although that is a really interesting topic that maybe we can cover sometime in the near future. Thank you, Ty, for sharing with us today a simple way that you can use the end of your halter lead rope to pick up the foot on a young horse, to move it up and down until the horse gets relaxed, and then to use the rope to pick up the foot and hold it with your hand, and to not be afraid if the horse bounces around a little bit or moves, to just set it up and start again. I think those are really great building blocks, and it makes me kind of excited to go work with my horse's feet, because I think it's probably just as much fun for the horse as it would be for me. Thank you for listening.